And we are recording. Hi, everyone. This is Deidre Kindred, your nurse advocate, back again tonight with a wonderful guest on Health Chats Among Friends. So I'd like to introduce everyone to my friend, my favorite author, Charlotte Canion. Hi, Charlotte.
Hi. Hi. How are you doing, Miss Deidre?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to come and chit chat with me.
Well, I love to chit chat with you. I just wish I could hug you. I miss hugs.
Oh no! Oh, well, Charlotte, let's let everyone know, what do you do? Well,
Well, I'm
wait a minute before you answer that, because she does a lot of things. So we're gonna hone in on her wonderful ways that she is an author and how she connects with people. So I'll give it to you.
okay. Well, I'm an author and a speaker. And how I got into being an author was 16 years ago. I had a father-in-law with dementia, a mother with Alzheimer, and a dad with Parkinson, all at the same time. And after that journey, my mother passed away 3 years ago. God told me to write a book. I literally looked up to heaven. I said, God, do you know what you're doing? I did not make good grades in English. And he said, that's all right. You tell a great story. And we've got editors that can fix all that other. And 11 months later, my book was in my hand. And it was not only an Amazon bestseller in 3 different categories, it was the best self-help book in the state of Texas in 2018. And it's like, this just blew my mind. I knew I could tell a story. I just never thought I could write a book. So anyway, that's kind of my journey. But my passion is, caregivers. And caregivers don't have to just be seniors. We've all gone through this COVID, and I promise you, we've all cared for one another the best we can and cared for ourselves.
That is such a true statement. But I want to go back to the title of your book. So you have to laugh to keep from crying. That
You have,
is,
yep.
thank you.
And see these hands here? Those are me holding my mother's hands on the cover.
Oh, that's so
And
sweet.
I promise you, I never dreamed when we took these pictures. I had a good friend of mine was a photographer, and she said, let's go visit your mom at the senior center and take some pictures. Never in my wildest dreams did I dream that these pictures were the reason. But God knew. He knew what was going on.
You know what? When he tells us to do something, and some of us are hard-headed, I'm not going to point any fingers, but when he tells us to do something, isn't it amazing how we fight him at first?
Oh yeah, I'm notorious. Here's another, and I won't go into any detail, but it's like God has to hit me 3 times before I go, okay, God, I heard you. It's like to get us to do, what he's been trying to get us to do. It could be something little, or it could be I want you to change your job, or I want you to step out and do something different. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. But I've looked at my life history, and it's like he'll give me 3 different signs, and finally I go, oh yeah, you were the one telling me to do that.
Oh my goodness. We could talk about something else. I have to have you back for that one. So I met you maybe 3 or years ago, right?
At least, yes.
Oh, at
At least.
least. Oh my goodness. So when I first met you, oh my goodness, I'm lighting up right now, because when
Oh,
Charlotte walks into the room, she just lights up the room. And your passion and your purpose, we just clicked. And your title of your book is so amazing to me, because we've all been advocates. We've all been caregivers, because just because you have RN or whatever behind your name does not mean you're the only caregiver. There are caregivers who are mothers, daughters, sisters, brothers, aunts, uncles. And so your book helps those that are in that category and then some, because you really do have to laugh to keep from crying.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I was walking the journey, as I said, with a father-in-law with dementia, a mother with Alzheimer's, and dad with Parkinson, and I thought, okay, I'm going to go out there and find a book. Well, the only books out there were written by doctors. They were written technical. They gave technical terms and all. And that's what God told me to do. He said, write a book that the ordinary person will understand. Share the stories that you walked with your mother and your father-in-law and your dad, because you will relate to everyone, because all of these stories intertwine. We've all walked, part of my story hits another person, and part of this story hits another. I mean, it is amazing. And people like to know that someone else is there. That was my main purpose. Was I thought I was alone. I didn't realize, that everyone is going through this. I mean, and literally everyone goes through it at one time or another in their life, whether they're a mother or a grandmother or your aunt or they walk this journey.
It's that me too.
Yeah, your mother. You walked that journey with your mother.
And
you and I have a lot of common stories.
Oh my goodness. You're never really prepared for it, but when you can find a book on your level that talks about the human aspect, because I feel like sometimes when, no offense to my physician friends, but when physicians write books, it's very medical terminology. It's very matter of fact. It's not about the heart of it. And so when you meet someone who's gone through that journey, like you have or are going through, it's like, wow, this happened to you too. So you felt that way too. Because it's so much to your book. It's just amazing. I like to share your book with my clients because it just helps. When you read someone else's story and you're like, wow, I can get through this. There is hope.
There is early on, and I think I really honestly feel like God wrote it through me. I mean, I realize, I just know he did, because I never dreamed, and because you've read my book, but I used 4 golden rules, and they're love, respect, patience, and forgiveness. Oh my gosh, those are so impactful. And when I was writing that book and, putting the stories in it, and as you know, it's got about 28 different stories in it, and my chapters were love. You got to love them unconditionally. You have to respect them. You have to respect them for who, what, and where they are at that moment. You have to have patience, not just with them, but patience with yourself. And forgiveness. Oh my gosh, forgiveness is unbelievable, because you have to forgive things that may have happened in the past, things that may be happening right now, and things that are going to happen in the future. But you also have to forgive yourself, because there are days when you go, oh my gosh, why me, God? Why me? Because, Deidre, you probably don't even know this. I've just now come to a new reality, doing some Zooms and all. God walked me through a caregiver. My first husband died of cancer, and I had over a 15-year journey with him with cancer. He had lung cancer and then a brain tumor. Wow. And he's, that was my first husband. He's gone now. But I'm going, oh my gosh, I've been a caregiver for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's so funny because lots of times when I mention the word caregiver, people say, oh, they're thinking about CNAs, nurses, doctors, healthcare professionals. No, we're talking about the everyday woman or man or individual that's caring for their loved one. And that forgiveness is a whole segment that we could talk about, because you have to forgive yourself. It starts with forgiving yourself. And it sounds selfish, but it's not, because you have to handle the fact that you're human. You're going to have these thoughts, and you're going to, because family dynamics there's no Leave It to Beaver family. You know? Oh, for those that don't know what Leave It to Beaver is.
There is no perfect family where everybody gets along. Oh, yes. Oh, I like what you said. No, you and I both know. Yeah, you and I both know that it doesn't matter how close you are to your family. When a parent or a loved one goes down that journey, even if it's your spouse, the kids are going to try to interfere and invoke their thoughts. Brothers and sisters, and here's the sad part, the more brothers and sisters there are, the more crossroads you're going to come to and disagreements. So, that's one of the things you and I, have discussed and probably want to discuss a little bit here is, they've got to choose an executor. They need, when you have your sanity, you got to choose that executor. One person.
Right. And also, I was talking to someone about this too before. When you choose that one person, don't be like me and try to be Superwoman. Dun, da, da, da.
No.
Not delegate. I learned this the hard way, and I've seen other women or individuals. This is the hard way. You have to delegate. It's okay. They're not going to die if somebody doesn't make the peanut butter and jelly sandwich right.
Well, and they don't need to be the martyr. Martyrdom is something that they all do. That's I'm the martyr,
That's somebody else. Anywho, but yeah, it's so many dynamics to it, but that forgiveness of self and being able to forgive your mom, dad, the past, it's hurtful. Some things did happen in the past, but you gotta let that go for you.
Yeah, the sad part is, if you have a need to forgive someone or need to ask someone to forgive you, if they die before you get to do that, guess who carries that with them the rest of their life? It's gonna be them. There's no way, I don't care how strong they are or how they think they were hurt. Yeah. Forgiveness is something that God asks us to do, and we've got to do it.
Yeah, and I'll go back to this too, because there's so much we could talk about, because it brings back so many memories when my mom was passing away, and our family was a family of laughter. I mean, we could joke. I mean, we still are, but even on her deathbed to go home with our Lord and Savior, she still had a personality. And I think that helps tremendously. You got to laugh.
You've got to laugh.
Keep from crying. Because if you're not laughing, you're probably crying, because this is a stressful time. This is, if you're not prepared and don't plan and don't have these family meetings or conducive. Sometimes it doesn't even have to be your family, right? It could be a close friend that's like family, but you gotta have help. You gotta have help, and you gotta ask for help, and you gotta be okay with getting the help.
And it's okay. You're mentioning the laugh and the crying. It's okay to laugh at a situation that gets funny to you, and it's okay to cry. As a matter of fact, I encourage people to cry, especially men. And my boys will tell you that I allowed them to cry. I told them they needed to cry growing up. It's okay. It's not manly to not cry.
Yeah, you keep that all pent up. It's going to come out somehow. Some way. It's going to come out in, neglect of yourself, neglect of someone else, treating yourself wrong or treating someone else wrong. Somehow it's going to come out. You can't. Yeah,
well, and you mentioned self-care early on. Caregivers, we do take care, or you're taking care of someone, and you need to, like you say, designate. If someone says, hey, can I bring a meal? Let them make a meal. Or you need to get away. Can I watch Mom this afternoon? You go to a movie. Go to a movie. Because if the caregiver, and here's a statistic, and you and I both know it, over 50% of caregivers die before the person they're caring for. And it's from the stress. They allow themselves to get run down. And that's a sad fact.
Yeah.
You know,
And I've seen it happen with a couple of clients that I've taken care of before, and it almost happened with me. So since we have these conversations that are open and candid, let's be honest.
Yeah.
I am a control freak. My name is Deidre Kindred. And I was breaking out in hives. I wasn't sleeping because I needed to be up and caring for my mom, or helping my sisters care for my mom, or working, or caring for my mom. So I was very blessed with the fact that I had sisters, but my own mother, when she was in hospice, she couldn't really verbalize, but she could type. We got her this machine so she could type, right?
Cool.
And still communicate with us. And I was breaking out in hives because I was so stressed out.
Mm-hmm.
She looked at me and she pointed to where I was breaking out.
Right.
And she mouthed, "What's going on?"
Oh.
So all that to say, that taught me that I got to take care of myself because I'm stressing her out.
Yep. She's seeing
caring for myself. Yes. So many people, you got to take care of yourself.
Well, and I had
some time.
Well, I had cancer halfway through my journey.
Oh.
And it was because I wasn't caring for myself and getting the right help. I'm a survivor. After 2 surgeries and 36 treatments, that was like 10 years ago. I'm a survivor. But I think if I had been, I'm a little bit of a trophy. Part of it was I had one sibling. It was a brother. He lives 3,000 miles away. Yeah. And early on, he said, "Good luck, sissy." And he would come visit. During that 16 years, he would come once a year for a visit.
I'm so glad that you brought that topic up too, because you still can have a big family and then they leave it to one person. Oh, you're the oldest, or you're the female, or you're always been there with mom. But you have to be able to stand up and say, okay, let me get some resources because I need a break every once in a while.
Yes.
Let me seek out some help from my friends or other people that I can maybe pay to give me a break, because it's like going on vacation. I love vacationing. But every time I've come back from a vacation, I'm full with this energy and, being able to do something and complete something. So taking care of yourself, even if it's just for 30 minutes a day, it's doable. I think it's doable. I know it's doable. I've seen it done. I've done it myself because I had to learn to start like, okay, you know what? I have to take care of me so I can take care of my loved one. Because if I don't do it, then we're going to have to figure something else out. So finding your resources. So for those out there who think they're all alone, you're not.
No.
You can find resources.
Well, and now is the best time to be able to do that because, like I say, my journey actually it was almost 18 years ago when it started. And there wasn't all of the help that they have nowadays. There was very few. Now there's all kind of, nurse advocates. There's assisted, assistants that can come into the house and they can do everything from the low level of just cleaning the house and cooking to they can be RNs like yourself, or they can take care of the medical needs, because that was the thing that scared me was, am I giving mom the wrong meds, or could I accidentally do that? And, having someone that's a professional at it, and there's, that's a whole lot. Figures.
They're trying to call us here.
They want us really bad right now, and I have no idea who that was, and I don't care. I normally unplugged that phone.
Don't you just love telemarketers?
Oh, yes, and especially during an election season. Yeah, they're all fun.
Yeah, that's another subject.
That's another segment. Totally.
So,
Totally.
I'm going to get back to, that person that feels all alone. There is a way that you can, if you don't know where to find the resources, contact myself or Charlotte. I mean, we have a plethora of available resources because we build relationships with other healthcare providers from all facets. It's just amazing. So now
Yeah,
we're talking about.
I was going to say, you name it, and if I don't know them, you do. But I mean, we know someone that can even help them downsize their house
Yep.
and move into a
Yep.
smaller facility. I mean,
Yep.
every facet of it is covered now.
It's amazing, isn't it? It's just
Yeah,
amazing. So
yeah.
if someone wanted to pick up your book, before we go to that, I want to talk about your next book, because you had mentioned that you are in the works or in the process of completing another book.
Yes, well, it's actually on Amazon, and they can actually get it downloaded once it's released, but they can go to Amazon right now, and all they have to do is put, Charlotte Canion,
Yep.
Amazon, and that's Canion. But it's called Sparks, and let's see if I can see, you can see the cover.
There you go.
The Sparks, Ignite Yourself to Success. So people have asked me, how did I become an award-winning author, and how did I become an award-winning speaker, and and I said, you got to stay on top of your game. So my chapter is how to stay on top of your game and, help people, okay, I can do this. I mean, I'm just a normal everyday person. I've done it, so I know they can. So I just give a lot of little tips in it, and that's what this book is about. There's several of us. There's a doctor on it that have put this book together to help people, hone in, be the best they can be, and if they want to up their game on their business, how they need to, go about it. So, anyways, it's fun. I'm excited. I'm really excited about it.
Awesome. So the best way to get your book is to go on Amazon.com?
Well, they can go out there to Amazon and look up Charlotte Canion, or they can go to my website, and I have two websites. One is called howtoparentyourparents.net, or they can go to charlottecanionspeaks.now.site. Or if they want to contact me personally, they can just do charlotte@charlottecanion.com, and they can email me, and I'll even mail them an autograph copy. But I'm a mentor just like you, Deidre, and my passion is to help people to solve their problems. In fact, I've been called the problem solver, as well as the voice of the caregiver, because I'm not afraid to tell or share any story. And right now I'm going through some trauma with my daughter. So, it's all good because we know that God is in control. He is the ultimate physician. So, he takes care of everything. Yeah.
See, we could start having a sermon on here.
Yeah, that's right. Glory, hallelujah.
Amen. I'm for real, because he's done some amazing things. When you follow your purpose, and it takes that listening to be able to follow it. And he doesn't really give you all the steps, but he gives you little, okay, I'm going to give you this event, or I'm going to give you this person, they're going to say something, or I'm going to give you this, I go back to an event. I can bring so many events and things people have said to me throughout my life that it's like, that's what so-and-so said. And you keep on hearing these things over and over again. Or when you easily are able to just want to help.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Even if it's just a little information about, let me connect you with this home health company, or let me connect you with, did you know that there are places that can get your loved one to the doctor? Let me connect you with that. So many resources. So
and just one thing I'm going to add, God will not ring your doorbell to tell you. You got to react. You've got to follow through. You got to do your part. He'll give you all the hints. You just got to follow through.
Right.
And that's a big key, and you know that.
Oh, yes. And then once you start following through, it's like doors open. It's
Mhm.
so amazing. Once you stop being hard headed, doors open. I'm talking to myself, you know, because it's so true. Because I was hard headed for a long time.
Wait, I don't know a hard-headed Deidre.
Well, Charlotte, this has been so fun and amazing. I gotta have you back, and we gotta, you know, maybe hone in on talking about the guilt aspect or
Do that.
the
Or
forgiveness aspect.
we could talk about gardening. I can tell you, I've been speaking to, sinners about gardening, how they
That's
can garden on
awesome.
their patios and in their houses
That's
during
so
this COVID.
therapeutic.
So it's just been fun. Just a
Oh my
blast.
goodness, that's a great idea. Well, maybe we should do something like that. You know, it's so many ways to stay involved during COVID. I was telling someone, I said, I have to block out time to be bored. I don't know where these people are getting bored. I'm not understanding that. I don't understand. I'm not like, how are you bored? It's so much to do. I mean,
Right. But
I have to say, okay, on Sunday, I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to go to church and then I'm going to sit on the sofa. And I have to
mhm.
schedule that. Otherwise, I'll find something to do.
Oh yeah. Well, and of course I had my husband, and I hardly even. I mean, if you want me on the weekend, you better call us. Don't text because I don't pick up my phone because
Right. And
it's my
don't email
husband and I.
either because I'm not going to check
No,
it. No.
no, because it's my husband and I's time. That's when I make. That's how I make our marriage work. Is I make time for us, and we put the phones down, we put the technology down, and it's
Yeah.
just our time. And so, you if you want me, you better call, and you might have to call twice.
Oh my goodness, I could talk to you forever because there was another subject in there. You said, you said we,
I did say
the
we.
marriage. Yes, you said we. You didn't say just me. I'm not going to digress.
Oh,
It's
I
been
love you,
so
Deidre.
fun.
I love you. I've missed, like I said, I've missed our hugs. I've missed,
Oh,
our times together, and we'll get back to it, and there'll
yes.
be a new norm. We
Yeah.
know that, and I see it opening up.
I see
I've
it too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I speak a lot on Zoom, but I have actually done 2 live ones recently,
Awesome.
and things are reaching out. In fact, I'm gonna be speaking, and the podcast is out of New Zealand. So it's like, oh my gosh, I'm going, okay, yeah,
That's
yeah,
wonderful.
I'll be glad to
Well,
be.
I am in the presence of a superstar.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. No, you're just in the presence of Charlotte, and Charlotte is Charlotte. What you see is
Oh, that's
what
why
you
I love
get.
you. Oh my goodness. Well, thank you so much for your time. I have enjoyed this conversation. We'll definitely have you back and we'll talk about something else, whether it be gardening or how to keep yourself occupied. But anywho, thank you, Charlotte. I'd like to thank everyone for attending Health Chats Among Friends. My name is Deidre Kindred. I'm a nurse advocate, educator, and navigator. I love helping to equip you to navigate the complicated healthcare system by bringing friends such as Charlotte Canion to the platform. Thank you and have a wonderful evening.